welcome back to Zalonka, and it is September 1. The pigs are a bit low on food. They've got a bit of slurry. There's a little bit of manure that we could put through the BGA. The soybeans are not ready, annoyingly. They need one more month of growth, so we need to be patient there. I believe the same can be said for our two grass fields, so we're just going to quickly check on those because of the game updates. I'm playing with the latest version, well, not quite the latest version of the game, so it does say ready to harvest, but I believe this is the first ready to harvest state, because before that it was just the very short crop. So yeah, I think we need to wait another month before we can cut this, which is sad annoying because we don't have a huge amount to do. I'm not sure we can plant our barley. Yeah, because that was the earliest crop we could harvest. We also need to lime this field, so maybe that's what we need to be looking at doing. We do have lime. We actually have a half decent quantity of lime there. So maybe we throw the lime spreader on the back of the Massey and see if we've got enough lime to get that done. And maybe look at getting that planted. Not the job I expected to be doing, but the job that needs doing. Which is sometimes how it goes, you know? Sometimes how it goes. So if we back up, we might actually want to throw the front weight on, because lime is pretty heavy. So I had to give the sheeps and goats some water overnight, or before the night, because otherwise they were going to run out. Can we put lime in here is the next question. That is a very good question. Well asked, folks. That's a negative. Okay. It's a very annoying negative. And I don't really fancy going and grabbing the mod to do that. So what we're going to do is put the foot back in there. Partly, I've had issues with that mod sometimes in the past. You might not, but jeez, fumble fingers today completely, it would appear. So we're going to go lease ourselves a lime spreader, it would appear. Let's do that. Yeah, so that's a thing. We're going to need to lease a seeder. We'll need to lease a roller if we don't have one, because, you know, we do have a history of leasing many of those and forgetting about it. Yeah. So we could check contracts, see if there's any interesting jobs, but I think probably should the prior. Is there a... Let's have a quick look. Nah, that's not a particularly interesting job. No. That was easy. As much as I would find that interesting, you guys probably wouldn't, and it's using that plow. So negative on that. Let's go to the store. So I said I was using the late. I'm not actually using the latest version. I'm using version 1.7, not 1.7.1 or 0.1. It booted the game up to start playing. The game wanted to update, but for some reason the update was running incredibly slowly. So I went with the download in the background. It started doing that. It was all fine. It said the update has finished downloading. Restart the game to apply the update. I did that. I then restarted the game. It wanted to download it again, so I told it it could Bugowski, basically, because it wasn't essential that I had that update applied to be able to play. So I'll do that another day. Yeah. So we're going to lease this guy because it's the cheapest option. Am I confident we've got enough lime to do that field? No, not really, but I think what we'll do is we'll use what we've got, and then if we need more, we will drive back to one of the lime buy points rather than buying it loose. Or, no, we don't have store deliveries installed. Yeah, we'll do that, I think. So I'm not sure if the only one is over by the farmer's market or if there's one closer to our farm or not. We'll see. We'll see. It does mean we've got to keep leasing harvesting stuff for a bit longer. Not the end of the world. We do need to pick up some pig food while we're on one of the trips to the store. Because realism is key, I might just put the pallet forks on and pick a couple of bags up on one of the trips. Because I'm not running the latest version of the game, we can't run universal auto load at the moment with this version, so yeah. Or I could just take the trailer and load some, but you know, where's the fun in that, eh? Feels like hard work. I was going to say it's Sunday, but it's not. It's only Saturday. It feels Sunday-ish, which is not so good. It's not good that it feels Sunday-ish already, but it's Saturday. Which is nice because it means I'm not scrambling to get this video finished for Sunday. Bang. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to have enough. Depends if that's a full pallet of lime or not. Appears to be. Place your bets, folks. Do you think we have enough? Let's ignore the crash, okay? Right. My brain keeps getting confused between Terralife and not Terralife because I keep getting a little nervous twitch as I drive into the field. We're going to use the base game worker to do this. I think the one headland will be enough. Not worker, GPS, steering assist, whatever you want to call it. Just because I think it will be nice to have a little bit more of a play with the auto cruise control off, although maybe not on the first bit of the headland. Right. Because we kind of need to get into the corner game. Right. It's not the biggest field in the world. We do need a seeder then. Now we've got a field that's already been ploughed, so we don't need anything that's direct drill or anything like that, so we have options. We don't need anything particularly big because it's not a big field, so again we have options. So I might just try and go for something relatively cheap. We've got a decent amount of power with Deutz, so yeah, we should be good. we should be good to be fairly flexible. And it looks like October's going to be the busy month. But that's okay. We will cope. Not too worried about this one shutting off, apart from the fact that we want to get far enough that when we run the other direction, we manage to cover the field. So if you didn't see it, why not? I started a new series on Rottima Island and gone back to making those videos the way I used to make videos, and it was kind of weird doing the commentary afterwards after so long, but it's quite nice. It's nice to just play the game it's a bit more relaxing, just playing the game without having to think and talk and that kind of thing. And as I said in those videos, it's going to let me play the game a bit more, I think, which is good. Perfect. That worked really well, actually. And I don't think it's particularly going to interfere with me making the videos that I'm making already on Farm Sim, so it might mean a little bit more Farm Sim on the channel, which I'm sure you guys will appreciate. And yeah, I just thought it'd be kind of cool. So, and it then removes my dilemma about where we go next from here. So that is good. I have killed more than one flying animal with a single mineral deposit. Yes. So yeah, I think I know where we're going to go next from here. Some of you will enjoy it. I think some of you will maybe not. But I definitely will. So yeah. And the schedule is still, we need to have harvested the poplar, and at this point going to want to have harvested this barley field. We might as well, we're planting it. We've got a way to go yet. And I am keeping the plough intentionally. I haven't forgotten to return it. I want to plough the soybean field once it's harvested. That's cool. That's sorted. So if we unload this, we can get that put away afterwards. Just going to crash into that trailer. Drop the front weight off, which is that one. Drop the bale spike off, which is that one. Grab the forked pallet, which is those. Try and get so I can hook back up to the spreader. And then head down to the store. Where we will go lease the... Let me just check how much seed have we got. 500 litres. 600. 600 litres should be enough for that field, shouldn't it? Feels like it should. Feels to me like it should be. So we'll take this back. We'll go lease. They should give you more for taking it back. We'll go lease the seeder. allowing for the fact that it might be used on the Deutz, but taking this, we can pick up some pig food. And hopefully health and safety won't be watching as we bring it back on the pallet forks. Because that's how you transport food. Yeah. This is really the first time I've played the game since the update came out. In any kind of anger. I think the no, that wasn't what I intended to do. The Rotom Island video was, the gameplay was recorded before the update. So let me just return the Breedle. You can go back and let's have a look for a Seeder. What do we fancy using? That's very expensive. That's not. It's only 3 meters, but it's not big field. 3 meters. Any of the trailed ones I'm kind of discounting because there'll be a faff. That was a pain in the butt to use. Although we could just attach to the Seeder, but 39,000, 33,000. I think we lease this guy. Yep. And then under animals, food, big bags. Dos big bags, por favor. And that should be just fine. Hopefully, let's grab the Seeder first to act as a weight. I'm not actually sure. Does they Massey borderline, if the Massey has enough power to run that, we could disconnect the power arrow. Awesome. So this week involves an awful lot of traveling. So I'm not sure how things are going to work. Why does it want to fill with pig food? That's kind of weird. So I'm not sure how things are going to work out for the rest of the week. It'll either be really good or really bad. I've got really hectic days, so it could be bad. It is what it is, as always. So we will achieve a pretty epic crash, to be honest. But thankfully, it's not when I first started playing FS19. We do know about super strength. So we can recover. Physics is a thing, center of gravity, and all that. I remember when I started playing FS19 and I didn't know about super strength, and I would roll tractors quite a lot still, and I would not know how to do that to right them. And I don't think I knew about resetting vehicles for a while either. Much frustration would ensue. Yeah. Not knowing about super strength and having my driving talents was not a good combination, as I'm sure you can imagine. We are nearly back to the farm with just the one crash, and we will take the pig food straight to the pigs, and then we'll fill the seeder up, and I think we'll try and run it on the Massey. See how we get on. Love that the goats and the sheep can just graze. There we go, awesome. So that's those done. The hole in the feed silo now. Hopefully it'll be okay. We just won't fill it up too much. Right, seed. Seed. Let's fill you with my seeds. Stop laughing at the back, children. Dirty minds. Right, and we want to change that to barley, and off we go. Close that up. And we'll set up the old GPS. This new addition to GPS makes me think that I am less likely to use VCA. We'll go for 3. Yep. Right. Let's get you lined up. Let's turn you on. I need to unfold you first, do I? Okay, right. Then let's turn you on and off we go. And in the barley goes. So that's quite funny that the seeder is powered by a wheel when we have a PTO driven power harrow there as well. So what I'm going to do is run the 3 short. You've seen me do this before, unless you're new here. We're going to run the 3 short rows. We'll then run 1 long run and the 3 short rows, and then do the rest of the long runs. Let's adjust the cruise control down. There we go. And that switched off a little bit early for my liking, but we can cope. We have the technology to adapt. And that will be that jobby done. And yeah, I much prefer doing it this way than just driving around the fields to do the headlands. I don't know, it's just how I like to do it. Not saying it's better, not saying it's realistic at all, because I'm an engineer, not a farmer. But it makes sense in my brain as to a way of doing this, so that's what we're doing. We will remember at this point to grab a nice looking little thumbnail, I think, like that. There we go. The mod that I use that is Modelisha's mod, which I now can't remember the name of, which removes the HUD and zooms you in. for the life of me, I've forgotten the name of it, which is really helpful, I know. If anyone wants to know the name of it, stick a comment down below and I will answer. Go and look it up if someone really wants to know it. But I can't remember it off the top of my head. I would say it's been a long day, but it hasn't really in terms of stress or anything. Been out for a really nice run today, actually. So, a bit warm in the UK at the moment. I know we're always whinging that it's either too hot or too cold, but when you're doing 2.5 hours of running, being hotter than it's been, not quite at all this year, because yesterday I think was the hottest day of the year, but being one of the hottest days of the year is not ideal. Let's say that. Not ideal, but, you know, it's also not a bad thing to run in hot weather because it's good conditioning for running when it's even hotter. So, and when I'm doing ultra marathons and things, you can't pick what the weather's going to be like. So it is good to do the odd run in the hot weather, even though I tend to do them at times of the year when it shouldn't be hot. Yeah. And the next one's in October, which shouldn't be hot. Because I tend to only do like one a year. But you never know, because the one I did last year was quite late in the year, and it was one of the hottest days of the year, which really freaking sucked. So, yeah. Right. We need to get this jobby done, I guess. Don't have the drone, in air quotes, available today, because it's not set up. So we will just plod our way through this little job. Mist Cortex first FS25 mod is out now, so if I hadn't sold the oats in the great demand, we could have dried them, because his grain dryer pack is out now, so go check that out. I haven't looked at the finances yet, but knowing him, they're probably fairly, let's go with generous, shall we? The previous iteration was fairly generous, so I'm guessing this one is as well. So yeah, if you're doing lots of, I haven't even looked at which crops it dries. I should know this really. Sorry, buddy. If you're doing lots of, I would assume, things like wheat, oats and barley, then definitely worth having one installed to maximize your profitability of those crops. And it's a pack this time, so you've got a smaller one and a bigger one. So can you tell I've really looked in depth at it? Oh, life's been far too busy the last few months, and I think spoke about it. Even the words are not coming out properly. Spoke about it in at least one recent video. Yeah, in the one, possibly the Rotterdam Island one, which I recorded the commentary for this morning. Where I was talking about not doing many tutorials and stuff lately. I felt so burnt out lately. Not in a way, but before, you know, and as soon as I mention stuff like that, a lot of people say, "Oh, take a break from doing YouTube and all that." It's not that kind of burnout. Some of you will understand this kind of burnout. Basically, life's been, and you know, again, it's some of the stuff I've spoken about on here. Life's been so exhausting with, I spoke about it in the video yesterday, with all the stuff with my dad and some other stuff that's been going on, that just very mentally run down. And yeah, and with all that stuff and other stuff, it's meant I've not had a lot of time to dedicate to looking at things like that. with Rottimer Island, Marnox was sending me, and with Cartex Grain Dryer, he was, both of them were sending me copies of that as they were being developed. I just didn't have either the time or the neurons to dedicate to properly looking at them, which is, I feel bad about, and it is a real shame that I couldn't spare the mental energy as they were developing them. It's been the same with some other mods and things that I've been sent. Yeah, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. 4-day weekend coming up at the end of this week, with it being Easter. So, yep. Double bank holiday in the UK, which is going to be nice. Looking forward to, particularly after leading into it with a completely manic work week. Yep. That is going to be tough. But we will survive. There's a song in that. I will survive. Don't worry, I'm not going to burst into song. You are very safe there, folks. You are very safe there. So I think I am going to crack on and get this done. I will be back when it is done. Right, we are pretty much done. I ended up skipping rows just to make things easier, and somehow managed to guess it pretty much perfectly, so that's good. We do need to roll this field as well. That might be a job for either between videos or the next video. We could do it in the next video because no growth transitions are going to happen sleeping overnight, because they happen at the end of the month, so that will be fine. And maybe there'll be some interesting contracts to do in the next game day. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might get the rolling done between videos so we can keep progressing. You could, I guess, let me know in the comments if you have a preference. Yeah, and I'm just thinking, I'm just going to try and quickly have a look as we finish this row up, because it feels like we have, yeah, we're about half an hour in, which is about a decent length for our farm sim video. So, yeah, I think we'll call it a day once we have finished the seeding. So, I'm going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members at this point. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. If you're interested in any of those, there are links down below. Hope you have enjoyed this video, folks. We will be back potentially later in the week, if not at some point, to get this field rolled. And yeah, keep progressing, I guess, towards September, October to I feel like it would be worth us loading the remainder of that seed to get this into a single container of seed. Yeah. But yeah, progressing towards October so we can eventually harvest the soybeans. But that's it for today. I will see you all next time.